Hey, Squadron. Guess who's back? Yes, after a minute of being away and recalibrating and doing all kinds of different things, I am back here on YouTube to do brand new content for you. And as you can see by the title of this video, I am going to be doing a monthly tarot reading for May. Yes, this is May's monthly tarot reading. It's been a while, so bear with me as I kind of get back into the flow of things. This will not be as long as previous monthly readings I've done, but trust me, it does not mean that it's going to be a lesser quality. Actually, you might end up getting more information in a shorter amount of time. Don't worry, I'll explain as I go along. But I got to do that old housekeeping thing that I used to do. Here we go. Don't get hung up on the gender of the cards. We all have masculine and feminine energy in us. In tarot readings, it could be your energy or the energy of people that you are connected to. So please listen to all the messages to see how they fit. These messages are timeless. So even though this is the May reading, you might be already going through this energy, which kudos. Now you're getting an explanation as to why. And if it doesn't necessarily happen for you fully in May, it may be the end of May, even the beginning of June, because you might not have completed certain milestones to have this energy affecting you. And a new one that I'm going to add in. I am going to be interpreting the cards for 3 different qualities of life. And that's going to be love and relationships, career and finances, and spirituality and passion. Like I said, you might actually get more out of this reading than you've gotten out of a past reading. Okay, housekeeping is done. Let us start. So, with the first deck, I call out to the collective consciousness, the universe, source, and all those that wish to work with the collective for their highest and greatest good, to send clear and concise messages to this deck relating to love and relationships, career and finances, spirituality and creativity for the month of May. So it is, and so it shall be. Thank you. Okay. Deck is ready. We got all of those that we need to on board. So here we go. For the month of May, can I get some cards for the month of May? Can I get some cards for the month of May? So this is going to be the first deck we're using, and that's going to be for the overall energy. The overall energy is pretty much, think of it as the macro. So this is like the big picture energy, that which is harder to see. Okay? I'm going to shuffle this one more time. Oh, we already got cards coming out. All right, I'm going to put those to the side. I don't want to look at them quite yet until we actually get some other cards out here. There's a little bit of resistance at the end there. Okay. They're telling me to flip them over. Okay. So we got the star. I'm loving that. And we got 4 of wands. Well, right off the bat, if this is going to be for love and relationship, for those who resonate with that or looking for that type of reading, y'all going to have a wonderful May. Okay. Now, can I get some more overall energy cards for the month of May? Can I get some more? Thank you. I'm going to get 2 more. Oh, I got my 2 more. Whoo! Collective feminine energy is struggling for the month of May overall. So the cards that you got out here, the star upright, we love that. And we got the 4 of wands upright, loving on that. But then, so those are the 2 that came out by themselves before I physically got any cards out here. But then we got the Empress in reverse, High Priestess in reverse, And Two of Pentacles in reverse. That is a very curious energy. Now, looking at this through the lens of all three of the areas that I told you before we were going to do this reading for, if I was to look at this starting off as a love and relationship reading, and relationship could be with you and an intimate partner, you and a friend, you and your family, all of the above, the star, you're going to be entering the month of May very hopeful. There's going to be something inspiring you when it comes to the area of love and relationships in your life. And what's inspiring you, because it came out together, is a Four of Wands situation. You're going to be over the moon, ready to celebrate, throw a party, proclaim from the highest mountaintop that you have found that love, that relationship. Now, if you're single, this could be a relationship dynamic that is coming into your life. If you're currently in a relationship, this can hint to the fact that your relationship is going to a higher level. So we love that. But then it's preceded with the Empress in reverse. So this relationship, whether it's new or one that you're already in, it can bring up behavioral patterns with not being able or not feeling safe to receive. Now, this partner may challenge your notion of struggling to receive. Maybe you're someone that's very comfortable doing for other people and not necessarily having people do for you. Or this could come in so many ways. It's also bringing up safety. Safety around feminine energy. And the reason why I'm saying safety around feminine energy, we do have the High Priestess out here. Empress and High Priestess are both halves of divine feminine energy. You have the High Priestess representing the as above, and then you have the Empress representing the so below. With the High Priestess being out here, this is giving me not listening to your intuition or collective. I'm not going to lie to you. This holding these two cards together, I'm really sensing taking advantage of. Whereas maybe you were in a past relationship and you did a lot for other people against your better intuition, maybe your spirit guides, maybe source, whatever it is that you work with or commune with, we're telling you you're putting too much of yourself in a relationship and you're like, no, this is okay. This is just what I do in a relationship. You might be coming to terms with that in the month of May. That might be playing out. And like I said, it feels like it's going to be played out by what this relationship is. Whether it's new or current, you're going to be called to face this energy. Also, another energy that's very interesting, Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is usually the card of juggling or keeping a lot of things up in the air. But when it's in reverse, it's about the fact that we realize that we've just been taking on too freaking much. Yeah, this is very interesting. So overall, for love and relationships, again, whether this intimate partner, friendships, or relationships, there is a relationship dynamic in your life that is going to make you challenged as well. Words is going to challenge the way of how you used to do things. Now, if this is career and finances, the month of May is going to start off really well. You're going to have the star bringing you the hope that everything is going to work out. So, yes, apply to that new job. Ask for that promotion. All of those good things. Four of Wands, it's going to be celebration. Also, Four of Wands can represent the fact that you're going to find a coworker or a business partner or just have a better relationship with your boss, and that's going to help take you to that next higher level. So it's going to be a very blessed dynamic. But just like with my love and relationship crew, you are not going to escape the fact that this is also going to be challenging you with Empress, with High Priestess, and with Two of Pentacles, all in reverse. You're going to be dealing with the fact that you might have been working jobs in the past, or you've been allowing this current job to take advantage of you. You're not getting your worth with the Empress in reverse. With the High Priestess, you might be in a dynamic where your gut instinct has been telling you something is off with your job, and you're just not believing it. Which, if that's the case, the month of May may be the fact that you're finally ready to leave your job and go after a job that is more spiritually aligned and actually makes you happy, if you fall into that category. But yes, this is the month of really kind of like getting settled, because you do have the Two of Pentacles here, getting settled and realizing, hey, am I really seeing the reality of my career and finances for what it is? Or am I being a little delusional? Okay. Am I not trusting? Definitely with trusting yourself. Trusting yourself. And I'm not going to lie, when I see the Empress in reverse, this could also be the fact that you're blocking your blessings. Okay. You're blocking your blessings. The universe is trying to send in what you need. And you're just like, no, I'm good. And you're taking on too much of a burden, and it might all come tumbling down when it comes to the work sector. So again, this could be about a current job where you're being pushed towards leaving it. And if it's about you starting a new job, the job works out, but it's also going to reflect back to you the number of times that previous jobs that you had have just, for lack of a better word, taken advantage of you and pretty much treated you like shit, like you were just disposable, which none of us ever wants to be in that situation. And last but certainly not least, spirituality and creativity. The month of May might be the time where you discover a new spiritual practice that is more aligned with you. It's really bringing that fire. With the star, it could be very hopeful. Also, remember, the star has 8 stars. 8 is the number of manifestation. She has 1 foot on dry land, 1 foot in water, representing the bridging of the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. And this, words, wands in tarot represent your spiritual world. Okay. So this could be a time where your practice really pays off. You might also meet people that are more spiritually aligned with you, and you feel comfortable with sharing your practice with them. For instance, if you are somebody who's witchy, you might find your coven, or you might find a fellow practitioner that you feel comfortable working with. If you're someone who's just spiritual in general, you might find a support group of people or an individual person that you want to work with. So there's so many possibilities here, but this is feeling like very much that new energy coming in. But then we got to talk about the elephant in the room, right? We got to talk about this energy. So Empress, you might be pulled away from old spiritual practices that just wasn't providing you with what you needed. It may have been the fact that you were doing things that you were being told are spiritual and in line with you, and realizing, no, what I've been told, that's no bueno. It doesn't actually work. And not only that, I was taking on way too much and not really getting what I deserve. If this is about creativity, a new creative passion is going to come into your life that's going to light you up, that's going to be more in line with you. But it also means facing up to the fact that something that you previously relied upon just isn't working. And that's okay. Like, we can jump creative pursuits from one that we're more passionate about now and just kind of leave this to the side and revisit it at a certain date. And if it's still not working, we can let it go. All right. Continuing on now with the secondary deck to get more of those close up, more personable messages. This is probably how you're going to be seeing it play out in your life for the month of May. Okay. So, universe, source, all those that wish to work with the collective for their highest and greatest good, let us keep the good times going. So can we get further clarity as to how this is going to show up tangibly? Ooh, that was a good shuffle. I don't know if my microphone picked that up, but it was just like, I like that. Yes, can we get clear and concise messages on how this is? Oh, there's a little resistance there on that one. That one had a little resistance. I'm going to do it again. Can we get clear and concise messages on how this energy is going to show up in the everyday life for the collective? Thank you. Ooh, we're actually doing really good. Okay, so the star, can we get further clarity? Thank you. Moon. The star is going to highlight the moon. So the moon actually came out sideways. A lot of practitioners, a lot of tarot readers don't really do sideways readings. I do. And I like the fact that the moon is out here because it means that you're going to be at a crossroads with the star. And crossroads energy means that you just have not made a decision yet about this new opportunity that's coming in. The moon is all about illusions. It's about the fact that we're not actually seeing a situation for what it actually is. So the fact that it's sideways, you have a chance to allow the moon to go into reverse. And when the moon goes into reverse, that means that the sun is out. And what can we see? Clearly, everything, because there's enough light from the sun, but there's never enough light from the moon. And therefore, something that looks like a monster can be a tree. And something that looks like it could be a tree could be a monster. I also feel like it's worth stating the fact that the sun is literally a star. So that just further brings up the point that there's a brand new horizon coming into your life. So April, you might have been closing up a chapter of not being able to see things for what they were. And you're going into May actually better seeing the truth in things because you are choosing a better path. You're coming to that fork and you're like, no, I'm going to choose the moon in reverse. Okay, 4 of Wands. Can we get a card for the 4 of Wands? Strength. Y'all are coming in hot. Y'all are coming in hot with strength. Oh my God. And it's upright too. Whoo! Empress in reverse. Can I get a card to clarify how Empress in reverse energy is going to be playing out in the everyday life for the collective that hopped out? Death in reverse. You're not letting something die. You are not letting something die and it's blocking your abundance. Someone clearly needed to hear that because the way the cards just went together like da-da-da-da-da. Again, that was the message. That was probably what was preventing the deck from doing it earlier. Okay, High Priestess. Can I get a card for how the High Priestess? Thank you. They're just jumping out. Oh, you got the 6 of Pentacles sideways. There's another choice here. And the 6 of Pentacles, for those that are not familiar with it, that's the generosity card. That is when a relationship is either mutual, meaning there's reciprocity there, or if it's in reverse, you're just being taken advantage of. I feel like some of y'all are already putting together how it's going to fit for love and relationships, career and finances, and spirituality and creativity. And the last card, 2 of Pentacles. How's the 2 of Pentacles going to play? Confirmation of the 4. 4 sideways. So you got 4 in your reading twice for the overall energy and how this is going to be playing out in your life. Ooh, and confirmation of the High Priestess on the bottom. High Priestess in reverse, and it's already out here in reverse. Whoo! Okay, so I don't believe in coincidences. Coincidences are just signs from the universe telling you, yeah, it is what it is. Please pay attention. Starting off again, for those where this is a love and relationship reading. I am feeling very heavy now with the cards that came out the way they did. This is about a new relationship coming into your life, and it might upset the natural order of the relationships you currently have in your life. So this new relationship, all right, the star attached with the moon sideways, this star is going to show you the truth that you've been struggling with the moon. You might not have been seeing your relationships as clearly as you thought you were. And it's going to take this relationship coming in to illuminate that. But it is going to require you to have the strength to go after this relationship, right? This is not going to be a relationship where it's just going to be you being just a bystander in your life anymore. If you want, right? If you want that partnership, look at that. Look at how that is literally, so the reason why I like this card, Four of Wands is the marriage card. Because as you can see, he's proposing to the woman that's on his horse. And you got strength out here, and strength upright is about having courage, passion, subtle power, persuasion, influence, inner strength, focus, and compassion. So again, do you have the strength necessary to go after the relationship that is aligned with you? Now, going after this relationship will also mean it's going to upset the status quo currently in your life. What do I mean by the status quo? Well, you got Empress in reverse. And like I said, Empress in reverse is someone that's having a hard time with being grounded, someone that's having a very hard time with receiving. You may have been somebody that's been putting out requests to the universe, to source, to whoever for abundance. You have a list of manifestations. You've been doing the visualizations. Nothing is working. Why is it not working? You got death in reverse. The universe is saying, we don't have a problem giving you these things, but can you let go of some things? If these are currently people in your life, friends, family, even an ex that won't leave you alone, the month of May might be the time where you have to face the facts that you've been struggling with resistance to change, fearing change, holding on to a situation, stagnation, decay, and a need for personal transformation. Yep. Oh, you gotta give something to get something, and until you're willing to give it up, and it's going to be highlighted in May. Remember, this is in your everyday life, so it's going to be very like in your face. What you need to release, you ain't gonna get it. Point blank. High Priestess with Six of Pentacles sideways. You have not been listening to your intuition when it comes to the fact that you've been getting taken advantage of by the people that you've been holding dear. Yes, there's no other way of looking at it. The fact that this is sideways, you've probably been questioning yourself. Have I been getting taken advantage of? No, these people would never do this to me. Like, I trust them too much. We have too much history together. You're not listening to your intuition. It's literally very plain that something is not like happening right. You might have been giving out a lot of charity. You might have been doing a lot for people, but there's not a lot of reciprocity here. And you know it, but you keep denying it. I just heard you're denying it to keep the peace. So for those out there that resonates with, that's your confirmation. And last but certainly not least, you got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And what is the sideways card of how it's showing up? Four of Wands. Yeah, you have been overexerting yourself, holding together relationships that were meant to fall apart. You know what they are. You know what relationships that you have been killing yourself. You've been bending over backwards. If these relationships were in alignment, first of all, this would be in reverse and this would be upright. Like, yes, you'd be doing a lot for these relationships, but you see them paying off. The fact that it's sideways, you have to make a choice. Is the effort you putting into it, is it worth it? Because I mean, over here, it's worth it. With this new thing coming in, it's worth it. It doesn't feel worth it over here. So there you go. That is your love and relationship reading for May. For those that resonate with it, your advice is going to be the fact that you need to tap into and call on the energy of the star card, which is Aquarius energy. And that actually makes sense saying that out loud because Pluto is still in Aquarius for about the next 19 years. So it's going to be digging some stuff up. So in the month of May, there may be some big aha moments, some big revelations from you. Well, sorry, for you, that's going to make it easier to see all of this toxic energy, right? That you've been settling for, that you've been dealing with. You're going to finally be able to break from it. And that's going to help you to go after that relationship dynamic that's more in line with you. Okay? Hope that helps. Career and finance. What do I have for you? Well, for those that are applying for a new job, the star is basically going to bring hope. It's going to be pointing your way to, again, this could be for those that are deciding to go the entrepreneur. Oh, I want to make sure you kind of see all the cards. For those that are deciding to do the entrepreneurial route, hey, you might get that inspiration. You might decide to work with a business partner or team up with like a group of people that are going to help you to get that off the ground, make it work. This could also mean it could also be making sound investments and it's paying off because 4 in numerology also deals with stability, and 8 in numerology is about leadership, authority, and manifestation. So if there was ever a time you wanted to make some money moves and it works out, I mean, you literally got 2 8s. I'm just going to leave that with y'all. But over here, though, whether this is a new job or a new financial opportunity, it is going to challenge you in looking at how, again, you may have not felt safe in your past job, right? There's some behaviors, there are some ways that you learn how to kind of diminish yourself, make yourself small, believe that what you got from your jobs in the past was as good as it got, and to stop striving for better. You got to let those patterns die. You're not going to receive what you deserve until you let it die. Intuition in reverse. Your intuition has been in reverse because 6 of Pentacles, and Pentacles deals with the career and finance and material aspects of your life. You have been struggling with overgiving with jobs, maybe overgiving with finances. People have been giving you a sob story and you've been lending out money against your intuition, against your gut. You've been giving money to individuals and you haven't been getting the money back. Maybe they've been playing kick the can with you, right? Telling you like, oh, I'm coming in on a big windfall, X, Y, and Z. Look, if the person doesn't want to give you the money back and you can actually just afford not to need the money, just let the relationship go. Okay? This person has no intention of really giving you this money back. If it's a lot of money, like this is money that you simply just can't walk away from, take them to court. Okay? Take them to court, get the money back, but just trusting that this person is going to give you the money back on their own free will, absolutely not. They won't. They really want me to, okay, thank you. They want me to point out if this is a job, the job has been taking advantage of you. They've been taking advantage of your generosity and playing on your kind heart. I feel like that was pointed to somebody, and they're probably going to go off in the comments over that. So I'll be bracing myself for that comment. Anyway, and then last but not least, you got the 2 of Pentacles with the 4 of Wands underneath, sideways. This is probably going to sadly be an aha moment where you realize that it doesn't matter how much how many tasks you take on, how much overtime you do for a job, how much vacation time you give up, just how much you keep letting this job pile up onto you, it is never going to give you the success, the accolades, the celebration. Like, you're not going to get from this job. Thank you. They say you're not going to get the reward from the job that you deserve for the amount of work that you put into it. Take this as your opportunity to start putting the fillers out there, go and be willing to leave this job and get a more aligned job. Have the strength, though, right? Have that inner strength to believe that this is out there, because it is. It is. And the only reason why you're struggling with believing that what you currently have is as good as it gets is the moon. The moon got you, like I said before, the moon got you seeing trees as monsters and monsters as trees. You don't know what's up, what's down, what's left or right. Okay? So your advice is take a step back, breathe, maybe do some meditation, get really centered with your reality, and ask yourself, am I staying in this current job because it really is giving me what I deserve, or am I allowing myself to be taken advantage of for false stability? And I feel like a lot of you are going to realize it's really the false stability, and that's going to be that push where this house of cards that you've been dealing with your job is going to fall apart, and it's going to lead to you being able to leave and go get this new opportunity that's more in line with you. All right, I'm going to take a sip of water, and then we're going to wrap up with creativity and, yes, spirituality and creativity. Oh, that's good. All right. Hey there for spirituality and creativity. So how is this going to be playing out for you for the month of May? Well, the month of May is going to be a time where, like I said, this might be a new spiritual practice that you're exploring, or it may be a new sense of creativity, right? You may be exploring writing, painting, music, something that you really haven't done before, or maybe you just haven't had the time to really invest in this. And then the month of May comes around and then boom, you just have this surge. You're just inspired. You're inspired with the star card, and the efforts that you put into it is going to work out, but you need to be brave. And why have you struggled with doing this before? It's that moon energy. It was basically, oh, okay. When I was touching the card and saying that, for those that resonate, that May is going to be spirituality and creativity. What is taking you so long is been negative self-talk. You have been talking yourself out of doing this before. So if it's a spiritual practice, this is something that you wanted to do before, but you didn't think you were good enough. If this is a creative project, it's something that you wanted to do before, but you didn't think that it would be recognized or it would be accepted. Some of you might be coming face to face with fearing like being ridiculed, right? Like people not understanding what it is you're trying to do with your art. Fuck them, okay? It's not about them. It's about you. It's about what lights you up. That's why it's called creativity, okay? Do what makes you happy. And when people see the happiness, they're going to see the purpose in your art. But if you're doing art to make people happy, then you're never going to reach your audience. Just saying. Now, if we're going to get over to the other side. So the other side, if this is a spiritual practice, oh, thank you. They do want me to say, if this is about meeting a person or a new group of people for this new spiritual practice or this new creative project, then the second half of this reading is going to be the current group of people or the current person that you're dealing with spirituality wise or creative wise, that you're going to realize Might have just been an op. Yeah, they might have just been jealous and sabotaging what you've been trying to do. Okay, so let's get into it. Death. If this is a spiritual practice, then the spiritual practice that you were trying to do, let's say you were trying to manifest something, it was not working because it was not in alignment. So, yes, you were doing the practice. Yes, you were doing the steps by steps by steps, but not all spiritual practices that you're going to see people do are really for you. Okay. That can be a hard truth to hear sometimes. People can have great success with a spiritual practice, but then when they share it with other people, the people that try it don't have the same success. They may have limited success or it may not work at all. So, this will be a time for you with this new spiritual practice coming in to vet what spiritual practices you have been doing that just aren't working for you anymore and be honest with yourself about letting it go. If this is a person that you've been working with or a group of people that you've been working with spiritually, you might be realizing that those people have been blocking your blessings. They've been blocking your magic. They've been blocking your manifestations. Get the hell away from them. Run. Intuition. They said for art. Art, that's a good one. Creative pursuit. If this is an old pursuit, it may be the fact that, thank you, familiarity. Thank you. Love that. This is familiarity with a creative pursuit that you have been engaging in. Oh, they just said sunk cost fallacy. Okay, this might be a hard one for my artistic community to hear. So brace yourself as I'm about to say this. If there's been a creative pursuit or a hobby that you spent a lot of money to get into, to maintain, there may be this sunk cost fallacy where you're going to keep pouring more and more time and resources and money in the hopes that it's going to pay off. It's not. It's not. The effort can better be placed somewhere else. You're not going to get what you're putting into it. And I feel like that is going to be also pretty much backed up when we get to the Two of Pentacles, but I'm feeling that very much here. This is the sunk cost fallacy. This is the trap. You've been looking for a reward for your creative pursuits, a payday, something, and death is like, no, something needs to change. You need to change how you're looking at this. Oh, and for those creative people, if this is a group of people that you have been working with, Empress and Death, these are individuals who, no, they said, no, it's more with these cards. Okay, so I'm being corrected. For the creative group, intuition in reverse with Six of Pentacles sideways. This is going to be realizing the fact that for the art crew, there have been a group of people that just, they didn't mean you any good. Like, they might have been telling you that they liked your art. They didn't. They were more so jealous of your art. They were jealous of the fact that you can be as creative as you are effortlessly, and they got to work at it. And you didn't want to believe that. Like, it's been like a thought in the back of your mind. You're like, I don't want to be that person. I want to be that person that believes people are just being jealous of me. Sometimes people are just, sometimes people are just jealous. They're just jealous. So really take a step back and think about the constructive feedback or criticism that you've gotten from people. And did it really have your best intentions at heart? Also, you were pouring into people. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest with you. You were pouring into people spiritually, creatively, but there was no reciprocity. They were not giving back to you. So you might have been going to people's art shows, they weren't coming to your art shows. You might have been encouraging them to pursue something creatively, and they weren't doing the same for you. And May is going to be that time where you're going to be like, aha. And then last but not least, this is just, again, you were doing so much, whether it was spiritually or creativity, and you have not been seeing the rewards. Instead of doing more, okay, hear me out, instead of doing more creatively and more spiritually, how about doing less, okay? How about we, instead of doing like 10 spiritual practices, how about cut that in half to 5? Or if you're doing 5 spiritual practices, how about bringing that down to like 2 or even 1? Creatively, if you have like 5 hobbies, which if you got 5 hobbies, I mean, teach me how to have 5 hobbies because I can't find the time for that. But no, seriously, if you have a lot of hobbies or a lot of creative projects, this might be the fact that you're coming to the realization you can do a lot of things good, but you'll never do a lot of things excellent. Okay. And if you're someone that's struggling with perfection, and I'm saying that because I feel very heavily perfectionistic energy for my creative community from this 2 of Pentacles in reverse, the best thing that you could do is really just focus on the least amount of projects that you really resonate with. And a way that that could look like is if there are 2 projects that are like, they resonate with you on a soul level, they light you up. Every time you think about them, you're excited. But the other 3 out of the 5, you're just like, I mean, there's something to do. I get some pleasure out of them. Drop the 3. Put those 3 in cold storage or somewhere like that until you finish the 2 that you're really passionate about. And then you can revisit those 3 at a later date. Or maybe you'll just decide you don't even want to do those 3 anymore. You want to pick up 2 completely new projects, whatever resonates with you. But that's what I'm feeling like. If you're my spiritual crew, like I said, you're realizing that you were doing way too much spiritual practices and oh, I'm hearing they were working against each other. You know what? Honestly, you'd be surprised how often that happens. Like, really and truthfully, especially for those that have been doing manifestation techniques. Like, you got a manifestation technique from this book, you got another one from this video. Then you saw a short on TikTok, and you tried all of them at the same time, not realizing that they're all kind of working against each other and being counterproductive. That's what I feel like here. And you're going to know who you are. But yeah, May is going to be very eye-opening. So I feel like May is going to be a time where embrace the new, embrace what lights you up, what's in alignment with you when it comes to spiritual practice or create a creative project or both. But also be very honest about the people that you hang around who claim to support your creative pursuits, who claim to support you spiritually, but honestly, they're just taking from you. They want you to praise them, but they're not pouring into you. Okay? And sometimes less is more. All right. So that's going to do it for the month of May. Let me know down below which one you resonated with. Love and relationships, career and finance, spirituality or creativity, or all 3 of them. All right. Until we meet again, I am wishing you the best. Namaste.